Now that feels good. I think we can handle that. Florida Atlantic with an overwhelming win. Florida Atlantic with an overwhelming effort. Florida Atlantic 110, UTSA 70. And that is a way to start conference play in style. That is a way to end 2025 in style. Florida Atlantic Voice, PostUp, a UTSA edition here on the Florida Atlantic Sports Network. Want to thank everybody who's joining us right now on Twitter and on YouTube as we recap this one. And a reminder that this will be available in podcast form as well. Wherever you get your podcast, Florida Atlantic's Voice, presented by Robes Law Group, personal injury lawyers, Robes Law Group, ROBES, robeslawgroup.com. He's FAU basketball legend Damon Arnette. I am Ken LaVicka. We make up the FAU broadcast team here on the Florida Atlantic Sports Network. And a reminder that the comments are open. A reminder that your observations, your questions are always welcome in this live edition here on the Florida Atlantic Sports Network. And Kyle jumping in right off the bat. That was amazing to watch. Wish I could have been there. Kyle, we wish you could have been here as well. But this is one of those games, and you go through them every once in a while, when you're taking on a team that you know you should absolutely club. And not only do you club them, there's no drama at all. I mean, this game was over 2 minutes in. Florida Atlantic goes on a 21-0 run, and that's the game right there. Those are the best type, especially in conference play, because those are few and far between. So you let this wash over you, and you enjoy it until you start focusing in on Tulane.
Yeah, but you say we expect this, but when Coastal Carolina and Pacific and these other teams on paper come in, we kind of played them even for a stretch.
You're right.
So it kind of made you nervous and frustrated, especially the first part of the first half. So it definitely was good to see us come out and from the tip just dominate the game on both ends of the floor. And as we mentioned, we wanted to get some – would like to have seen us get some consecutive stops early in the game, which is what we got.
In fact, it was Nico Moretti and Isaiah Elohim, but Nico Moretti, who joined us in the post-game show, who had his best game of the season by far and a top 3 game in his entire career at Florida Atlantic. So by extension, his college career, 12 points, 8 assists, made really good decisions, was really trying to generate offense. But on the defensive side, Nico said we stacked defensive possessions, and we were able to take advantage of that. And boy, did FAU ever do that. The Owls shot almost 66% in the first half. Florida Atlantic in the game on the fast break, 31-15. That'll do it. But we even talked about it in the course of the broadcast. The defense was leading to everything else, which I think hasn't been the case at times this year.
No, and part of that is they've started to clean up their perimeter switching on D. They're not late switching. They're tagging instinctually, and the switches, when you tag on time, tagging meaning the switch and going from one man to another. If you're even a second late on that allows the ball handler to turn the corner and get downhill and attack the basket, which then leads to dump offs, kickouts, or foul trouble for the big men. So it's very critical that we keep our switches clean, and over the course of the season, they've started to clean that up very well, and ultimately you keep the basketball in front of you.
Yep.
And that's where you want the ball to be in your set defense.
Kyle in the chat, excited to see us ride this momentum into Tulane. Yeah, and you're going to need to bring a game to Tulane. Tulane had a not-so-great non-conference season. They lost to crosstown foe New Orleans, which was very unbecoming of a Tulane team that was picked top 4 in the league in the preseason, finished top 4 in the American a year ago in the regular year, went out to the postseason tournament there in Vegas, got that invite. And it hasn't been pretty. They had a tragic loss of a player who passed away down here in South Florida during the course of the offseason. And it's been a rough ride for them. But they go to East Carolina, and they trail late, and they come storming back and beat East Carolina 79-70. So Florida Atlantic, just like last year, and things fell apart in the final 8-9 minutes of that game. FAU had the lead at the midway point of the second half, and then were outplayed an aggressive Tulane team. If FAU is unable to play like they did first half against UCF, first half here today against UTSA, it could be another long trip to the Big East.
And you know what, Ken, what kind of frustrates me about the state of basketball or college sports right now is we don't have players on this team outside of Nico that actually understands the past like that, to know getting on the plane, the level of focus you're going to have going into a Tulane. Some of these guys may not even know Tulane existed as a university, with them being on the West Coast predominantly their whole lives. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a lot better if your whole entire team experiences something. So when you get a second bite at the apple that next season or that second time around on the schedule, you know what you're facing. I don't believe this team knows what they're facing when they walk into a Tulane. And so then you just hope that the competitiveness and the lessons that they've learned up until that point throughout the season takes another step in their championship DNA that they're trying to build and develop.
I want to focus on Nico Moretti since we brought him up. He is just so, and it's really hard to overstate this. It is an understatement. He is so damned critical to what FAU potentially can do here during the course of this season. He has admittedly, on his part, struggled to get into rhythm. The injury he suffered during camp that kept him out of the vast majority of the final part of the lead up to the regular season, and him struggling to physically be able to perform on that injured foot. And that affects everything. If you can't lift and you can't push off, then you can't play to the speed you want. And then that affects your decision-making capabilities because you're trying to compensate, and it's very difficult. I'm not saying that Nico Moretti, who can be up and down, who can be a bit great and then a bit head-scratching, is going to have a perfect, pristine rest of the season. But if Florida Atlantic wants to compete for a conference championship and have a shot at the NCAA tournament, you're going to need consistency. You're going to need Nico Moretti to be a stalwart in the lead, and he absolutely did that in every sense here against UTSA here today. I feel good that it happened, but I also feel good for him because sometimes you need to do it and feel it and see it before you can really start to build off of it.
Well, Nico's very important to all the reasons that you mentioned, but he allows Carlisle to play off the ball. He allows Devin Vanterpool to play off the ball because if you don't have a Nico that is playing in that position, now you have to move those guys have the ball in their hands a lot more. And if you think about it, this game today, if you just reflect on this afternoon's game, Carlisle's threes came off of set spot up shooting. Okay, so his threes, you don't want your point guard having to come down and create because there's always going to be 9 guys in front of him.
Yeah.
And so you kind of want your guards and your shooters to get lost in the action, okay, and have someone closing out to them. And that's the situation Nico is able to put the team in when he's on the floor making good decisions and playing well.
So Nico had a really good game. 12 points, 8 assists. And then there's – and I know that some fans will be like, well, Ken, Damon, Devin Vanterpool had 21 points. Like, focus on him. But Dev just doing Dev things. And I firmly believe, I have no problem declaring this on the interwebs. And on the most extensive podcast platform you're going to find, not only at FAU, but at the mid-major college basketball level. I have no problem declaring that Florida Atlantic would have beaten UCF if Devin Vanterpool played, because some of the straight line drives that UCF just relied upon right before Christmas, Devin Vanterpool is able to cut that off. Devin Vanterpool is able to force turnovers. And then there's the whole scoring aspect of it with him being your leading scorer and not being a part of the proceedings in a game that you lose 85-80, where through the majority you were the better team. But Devin Vanterpool coming back and and he didn't show any ill effects, didn't
No.
show any hobbling, didn't show any injury, didn't show any rust after not playing for the better part of 12 days. I mean, the reason we don't take a deep dive on Devin Vanterpool is because Devin Vanterpool just does Dev things.
Well, you could just tell that at UCF, the coaching staff made a decision to have him play this game. Okay.
Yeah.
And so he clearly could have played. That was less than a week ago, or a little bit over a week, 8 days ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So he could have played. He came out to play.
Yeah, I think you talked about it today. If UCF would have been a conference game, Dev would have been able to go.
He definitely would have been able to go. So I believe that, or if that was a game that if we won that game, that definitely would have put us in a Ken Palm from points. There go your
and it would have been the only quad one win of the American.
One quad win is not going to get us in that large bid.
No, you're right.
Okay,
you're right.
And so,
yes, you're exactly right, because even despite that, the net rating would not have been high enough, but it would have been a nice star to hang. But regardless, no other team got a quad one. The only team that right now would be in the at-large conversation is Tulsa, but there is a hell of a lot of conference season to play.
Right,
still.
and I think that's what the coaching staff, being they saw the long game.
Yeah.
They saw the long game on this thing. And
this was NBA early December.
That was low management. And you can see right now how much energy Devin came out with. That lets you know he was ready to play 7 days ago.
For sure.
Okay, and so, but it was good to see him back, especially at home. And now he's got one game under his belt before going into a road game in conference. And as I just said, these conference games, especially at a Tulane, where they won't be sold out, but it's not going to feel like they're not sold out. They're going to play an ugly game of basketball.
Place, yeah.
Yes, it is an old, dreary place. And unless you've been there before, you have no idea how much focus and how locked in you got to play the way that coach has that team playing. There's not going to be one guy.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, that team always has 5 guys that are on the same level. Okay. And they're going to play hard, and you just got to match that intensity every play.
By the way, the name of that arena, Avron B. Fogelman Arena, FAU fans might think to themselves, boy, that name sounds really familiar. Where do I know that name? Does that name sound familiar to you at all?
Not at all.
Okay. Avron B. Fogelman, a Tulane graduate.
Okay.
Lives in Boca Raton. He is a former part owner of the Kansas City Royals, but he also is the one who donated his legendary sports memorabilia collection to Florida Atlantic, and the Avron B. Fogelman Sports Museum sits in the Schmidt Family Center right across from Flagler Credit Union Stadium on the football side. That is why, FAU fans, if that name jogs your memory, that's why, because Avron B. Fogelman, a major, unique benefactor to Florida Atlantic. So there
who's
you go.
He rooting for?
I don't know. I have no idea. I actually had a chance to speak with him about a year and a half ago, and I didn't ask him that. So maybe I'll follow up. It was via email, so I'll just shoot him an email and see what he says. Don't forget, chat is open for those of you who are taking this in live. For those of you that are listening on the podcast version after the fact, you can just tweet at me at KLV Says, and I will subsequently answer your questions or address your observations. But if you want to talk about this FAU blowout win, 110-70 over UTSA, feel free to jump in the live chat if you are taking this in on Twitter or on YouTube. Kyle, unfortunately, the committee will never look at the injury details at our level. I'm assuming he's talking about for an at-large bid.
We don't get the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, that came and went. That ship sailed. So don't even worry about it, Kyle. What I would say is go on with your New Year's Eve. Go ahead and enjoy the plans that you've made, or the lack thereof, because I enjoy the lack of plans that I've made for New Year's Eve. And go ahead and don't concern yourself with that. That would be my advice to you.
But kid, I tell you, as we get ready to go into conference play, where it's literally going to be 2 games a week now. For the most part, on through. It's important for us to catch fire this first time around. It really is. And as you look at the conference play and how the schedule pans out, you've got to win the road games. And I know that everybody says that no matter what profession you're in. But it's important for us to get out to a good start. That's why 1-0 really means something, no matter who it is, because momentum, if you're able to get it because you play so much, you can knock some teams off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, think about it. If you win a quarter of your road games in conference, you're like, all right, well, we did a decent job there if you can hold serve at home. If you win half of your road games in conference, you can start flirting with the idea you're going to be part of the regular season championship discussion the final 2-3 weeks of the season. If you can win 3/4 of your road games, then you're absolutely going to be firmly planted in a championship conversation. And look at the next 3 games, but specifically the next 2. FAU going to Tulane, which they have traditionally had problems in New Orleans. Even in wins, they need a miracle and an officiating gift from God in the run it back here following the Final Four season with Elijah Martin getting fouled, taking a 3 with a second left to win it.
Right.
And then UAB, Florida Atlantic has never won against UAB in Birmingham. So that's what you have on the road to the next the next 2.
Don't you get a feel that Tulane is the type of team and the type of way you got to play is kind of like a Florida Gulf Coast?
No doubt. Yes, I think that's and honestly, I mean, UTSA, I think Florida Gulf Coast is a better team than UTSA, but Tulane doesn't feature a lot of size. There is not a traditional center on that Tulane roster, just like UTSA, just like Florida Gulf Coast. So you're going to have to make sure that you can match up with athleticism on the wings. I would say Tulane is a prototypical American Conference team, a little bit undersized, but super athletic on the wings, with a really good point guard.
And a really good coach.
Yeah, Ron Hunter is
and a really good coach. And you can't discredit that coaching impact on a game. Coaches don't play, but they affect the play. And so that is what this team is up against. And I just hope these young men kind of grow up quickly and knock off some of these road games, because I don't know what road team would be favored this year going into anybody's house on the upper half.
Yeah.
I don't know any road team that would be going in favored. Would you favor Memphis going into Tulsa right now?
No. No, absolutely not.
And so that's what I'm saying. So I don't know any road team. So the ones you can get, go get them. And that's why momentum is so important, that hopefully you can get it early.
Speaking of Memphis, they then come in on January 11th, and you remember FAU lost by 1 million to Memphis last year in the American Conference opener. Thank you, American Conference, by the way, for doing right by this school. Instead of opening the year with Memphis in American Conference play, FAU gets UTSA this time.
I think they look back at the season from last year, like, yeah, we kind of did.
Throw us a bone, man. We're the only reason that the American Conference has been a 2-bid league in the last 5-6 years since Houston departed the league. Shout out 2023-2024 team. On the same vein as Nico Moretti, to a lesser extent, but in the same vein, at least in the same zip code, was the second half of Max Langenfeld with his 4 threes. You are very high on Max Langenfeld. You at least, and I always defer to you when it comes to the intricacies, when it comes to this is a player who, if he does this, can make a significant impact, has the potential to at least make a significant impact. Max Langenfeld, I don't think, is going to be a spot where he is going to play enough where through a 5-game stretch we're like, wow, what dominance. But, man, there could be and should be 3 to 4 games this season where Max Langenfeld should come in and be an ultimate, just to use a super cliche term, X factor. And Max Langenfeld in a conference game who got hot in the second half, but it wasn't just the threes. It was decisions. It was distributing. It was sharing the basketball. It was playing within himself. He showed, man, there is such untapped stuff there that if he could find any sort of consistency, and John Jacobs said he's practiced better. He has taken in coaching. He's been a professional this year. Man, he's such a weapon because, man, he would be so damn tough to game plan for, especially with the sporadic amount of time he's played.
Well, and that's kind of what you like. Well, not kind of, but that is exactly why you like these kind of games. You're able to get him on the floor.
You can observe a little bit and see him in real-time action.
And he's able to feel like he's not floating on air.
Yep.
You know, and so
and you can do it in a game against a team that's not the NAIA team that you're facing in the non-conference. Like, this is the season, conference season, and he was able to come in and contribute.
Well, I'll tell you with Max, I don't think competition, his value that he can bring to the team, I don't believe has anything to do with the competition, because every time Max has gotten in the game, no matter who he's played against, he's gotten off wide open shots. He's gotten off shots that he normally makes. He just hasn't made any.
Yeah.
Okay, until here recently. So I think that getting him integrated into the game, where he has the ability to very quickly go 4 for 6.
Yeah.
4 for 5. And that sometimes that can be the stretch of the pivotal stretch in the game.
That type of performance, if he can get hot even in a half, like, that's backbreaking stuff.
Oh, yeah. And once he's doing that, everybody else becomes so much harder to guard because you can't help.
Yeah.
Okay. And with his movement and things of that nature, it allows the game to be a little bit easier for everyone else.
Florida Atlantic 110, UTSA 70. Anything else from the stat sheet? And boy, is it long. It's like a scroll, because FAU played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
they played
9,
a lot
10,
of players.
11, 12, 13 players in this game. One of the benefits of a 40-point win is you can empty the bench and keep everybody intact.
But you know, Ken, all these players except for the walk-ons, Liam and Smith.
Yeah.
These are guys that normally get some minutes, you know, and so
in lopsided games, yes.
Well, outside of Max, everyone has played in minutes. I mean, I think everyone had touched the floor in St. Mary's and UCF. I know we were down 2 players in UCF, but outside of Liam and Nugenberger, who's been hurt.
Right, but there have been 9, 10 guys who have played every single game. We were talking about in the game, when do you empty the bench? But who do you empty the bench with? Because you're talking Liam and you're talking Lachlan. And we're not saying this to disparage them. We're just saying, like, this is the reality right now. And Liam is absolutely, for sure, a leader on this team, I think, in every sense of the word. But because FAU has traditionally this season played 9 or 10, there's not much quote unquote,
it's not much bench
deep
like that.
Bench. It's rotation is deep.
I mean, if you think about it, Nico ended the game.
Yeah, you're right. Because
so,
you need bodies on the floor. You need 5 on the floor, and Logie had already fouled out.
Ended the game. Okay, and so it's very a good situation to be in when you can go that deep, and clearly most of these players, well, if not all of them, clearly have the trust of Jacobs.
Who is your player of the game against UTSA? Who would you give the nod to? Because there's a lot of options. There's Dev, 21 points.
Oh, I'm going with Carlisle.
Kenan Carlisle.
Yeah, I'm going with Carlisle. His production. I mean, he was able to knock down shots. He shot the ball very well. He went 6 from 8 from the field, 4 from 6 from 3. He chipped in 4 assists. I mean, I liked his floor leadership, and he knocked down every open spot-up shot that he was given. And so I gave him the player of the game today just because of his efficiency that he played with.
Carlisle, Kenan Carlisle, by the way, and his I'm not a huge neon fan. Primarily the neon green monstrosity that USF considers a primary color of their uniform scheme. I hate it. Neon green is the most useless color in the world, but especially in sports. And the fact that USF uses it as a core color is an embarrassment to the league and to college basketball and to college athletics as a whole.
So now everybody send Ken a neon green shirt.
Oh, I hate neon. I hate it. Now, the neon orange shoes that Kenan Carlisle has sported over the last couple of weeks. Now that's some good stuff right there. I like shoes that stand out like that. Yeah, I like the neon orange.
You like the neon orange and the color combination of blue, red, and white.
Yeah. Now, it clashes, but I think that's why I like it, is that it clashes a little bit. Did you know, by the way, speaking of clashing, this was not a thing when I was a kid, but I'm seeing it with my daughters now. Wearing 2 different socks is a thing for the youth of today. And I would have been laughed at and bullied in junior high and high school if I did that.
There would be a specific reason why you'd have on 2 different socks.
Yeah.
things that we can't label.
Yeah, right. But
you
yes, I know
called-
where you're going with that. I know where
you would be called a lot of things.
You sure would.
That are not appropriate in this day and age.
1,000%.
Oh yeah.
And also too, I didn't realize this until like 6 months ago. Growing up, you would it was wear shoes and not show any socks. You would scrunch socks down, do that whole thing. Now kids are wearing their socks pulled up again.
Oh, they're wearing the raised socks.
Yeah, they're wearing
the tube socks.
The tube socks, and they're pulling them up like my boomer dad did when I was growing up, and now that's a thing for the youth of America.
I mean, these fads, man. That's the old Michael Cooper look from the Lakers from back in the day.
Yeah,
with the high socks coming up to the knee.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's just fads. Who knows, man? It comes and it
ebbs
goes
and flows.
But
man,
like
fashion.
It was when I was in high school too. Bell bottoms came back, and thank God that trend died. Bell bottoms were back when I was in high school. Bell bottoms from like the 70s, the jeans, the whole thing. So I'm glad that's gone.
Did you have a pair of?
No, well, I used to because I was alternative / punk. I would wear those wide leg baggy jeans, and I had like the chain for my wallet, and I would dye my hair all the time. I'm not even joking. That was
a chain guy.
I was a chain guy. Yeah. I was a 4'5" chain guy.
Who was on either end of the chain?
No, it was just my wallet, but I would wear it on my waist so I would look tough. And then
did you have a pack of cigarettes rolled
No,
up
I was never a smoker, but I definitely wore band like music shirts all the time and baggy jeans and
had a Kiss shirt?
I did not have a Kiss shirt, but
you had a Kiss shirt.
I had a Def Leppard shirt.
Oh, Def Leppard shirt.
And I dyed my hair all the time, and now I have no hair to do that
so
with.
You were a punk rocker, huh?
Hell yeah, I was a punk rocker. Don't you forget it. I'm still proud about that.
Chicago.
Oh hell yeah. Okay, so we had our player of the game, Kenan Carlisle. Who would you say is the unsung hero of the game for FAU?
Unsung hero, that's easy to go with like a Nico, because a lot of things that he does, how he sets the table, so to speak, how he allows Carlisle and Devin Vanterpool to play more natural scoring positions.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, when you have the point guard, every defensive strategy, unless you're guarding someone like a Steph Curry, you always are taught to have both eyes on the basketball, always know where the basketball is. And so when you're on the wing, you have 1.5% and not their full attention.
Right.
As a defender.
Right.
And so Nico allows very good, effective offensive players to have less than 100% focus of the defender that's guarding them.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that's all the edge you need to get that first step, or to do a backdoor cut, or to get yourself open, or just space to knock down a shot. Okay. And so Nico allows everybody to kind of go to a natural position, because all eyes are always on the point guard.
FAU is going to Tulane. Again, that is Sunday. That is Sunday afternoon. So some afternoon basketball from the Big Easy. We determined, by the way, like this is not a secret, New Orleans is other than Boca, the best American Conference city, right?
Yeah.
I believe we determined
and
that.
Unfortunately, I don't know if we're going to have the time to enjoy it because I was just told that we get in on Saturday.
Oh, do we?
And it's
I didn't
an early
know that.
game.
Well, there that is.
So it's a quick turnaround, then on to the next one.
On to the next one, which will be Birmingham. Still a fine city. I think it's an underrated city. It's a good barbecue city. Yeah, it's good. It's a good city. You're not a fan?
Not at all.
Okay. Well,
not at all.
That's one of us who appreciates
Birmingham. Will always be an in-and-out city.
In and out. In. You know what? I like that. In-and-out city. Greenville, North Carolina. In-and-out city. Wichita, Kansas. In-and-out city.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
In-and-out city. Though I will.
Liberty.
You know what?
Your favorite place?
Tulsa. Yeah, you're right. Tulsa's an in-and-out city.
Oh
man, Liberty.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Is that not an in-and-out
Well, luckily
city?
it's not a conference school, so that doesn't matter. I like Memphis. I think Memphis gets a bad rep. I'm a Memphis fan.
You're a Memphis man.
I like Memphis. There's a lot of culture there.
Memphis is turning into an in-and-out city, if you ask me.
Wow.
Memphis. I think everybody from Memphis went to Nashville.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Everybody from Detroit went down to Nashville.
I would argue Nashville
I would
has
love to have a game in
has
Nashville.
become an in-and-out city for me personally because I don't like being around people.
You don't like a good time?
And Nashville is no longer authentic. Nashville has turned into the sorority capital of the world, and it's too touristy. And I would argue that Nashville and Austin are the same city, different states. There are no two cities more alike in the United States of America than Nashville, Tennessee, and Austin, Texas.
Really?
Yes. Not you can go to one or the other and you're basically in the same place. Music-based double-decker bars that have the name of a country star on them. We all know country music is the worst genre of music, period. And that's what you're inundated
Look at all our listeners
with
hanging
in
up on
Nashville
us.
and Austin.
Look at all our viewers and listeners just hanging up on us.
I don't even care. I don't even care. I don't care.
Wow, you're very opinionated about that. I think Austin, well, I haven't been to Nashville since the uptick over the last 5 to 7 years.
You mean the sorority, or not the sorority, the
just everything,
the just bachelorette party of the capital of the world?
Yeah, just the everything. You know,
like we get it, ladies. You're gonna go take the picture in front of the wall that has the angel wings on it. We get.
You know why it's the capital? Because every
it.
Southern belle, that's where they go. No one from New York, no bride from New York to be is going from New York City to Nashville for a. Or you know what you should equate it to is Vegas. What stays in Nashville stays in the Ville. What's done in the Ville stay in the Ville.
I would argue that Vegas is like a two-night and out, but also Vegas has lost a little bit of its allure in my mind because now you can gamble anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
When I say reference an in and out city, I mean fly in the morning, fly out at night. To me, Vegas is a one-nighter.
Okay, that's
Spend the night, go on the next day.
Because you and I could go have a nice dinner, have a couple drinks, and everything.
Fly out the next afternoon. I'll be good. Vegas is over for me.
Yeah, for sure.
So UAB Birmingham is a fly in the morning,
in and out
at night.
I like that. An in and out city.
No luggage city.
By the way, Kyle, gonna make a run through Bourbon Street. Not sure we're gonna have enough time. Don't know where we're staying. Maybe last year we were close enough to walk to Bourbon Street, but I went to Bourbon Street for hours. For football this year, so I'm not sure I need to do it again in a 2-month span.
Well, you didn't do it with me.
I haven't done it with you. That's right. And you haven't done Bourbon Street unless Damon Arnette is involved. And then Kyle says, I also hate country music. Bless you, Kyle. And may you have a great 2026. Happy New Year. I don't know what you're doing. I'm not going to do much. My wife and both children are at the Cotton Bowl for the Miami, Ohio State college football playoff quarterfinal. I'm a lone wolf running
wow.
Free. So free that I'll be on my couch, probably eating some nachos.
I like how you just skipped over that whole let's leave dad for New Year's because we're going to a game.
Oh, I know. That's how
my fandom of your wife, huh?
I know. That's how my family thinks about me. I'm just the fourth wheel.
Oh, I got you.
I'm the fourth wheel.
And for her to go all the way out there and see a loss, that's tough.
Oof.
Yeah.
All right, we get it, Ohio State football, Dad. We get it. Not that I really care about it from my wife's perspective, but if you're an FAU football fan and you consider yourself a hardcore FAU football fan and you're sitting there living and dying by every snap of Miami in the college football playoff quarterfinal, everybody else has the right to question your FAU fandom. I want to also lay that out there. I know I'm hot taking all over the place today.
Say that again.
If you consider yourself a hardcore FAU fan and you're sitting down tonight watching the Cotton Bowl and you are living and dying by every snap of Miami in the college football quarterfinal, then everybody else has every right to question how hardcore an FAU football fan you are because Miami should not make a difference to you. The result should not make a difference to you unless you're being petty and rooting against them if you're an FAU football fan.
That's what being a sports fan is about, is pettiness.
Okay.
And so if you either hate Ohio State that much, you would love to have Miami win,
I guess that's an addendum
Miami
to it. Yeah.
That much. You're going to be rooting for Ohio State.
But I'm just saying, if you have butterflies in your stomach over Miami and whether or not they're going to win, whether or not they can win, I question your FAU football fandom a little bit. That's just me.
Okay.
That's just me. Shout out FAU football. I'm gonna have a separate podcast later in the week about Easton Messer coming back to Florida Atlantic. So one of the best passers in the country, Caden Veltkamp, and the number one receiver in the country, Easton Messer, both coming back to Florida Atlantic next year. So we'll do that separately later on this week. Am I missing anything with this game, FAU's win over UTSA?
No,
I don't think so.
like I said in our post game, is that it's hard to get something out of this game. When it's such a lopsided win.
Yeah.
It's very hard. The only thing that can come out of it is something negative. If UTSA shoots over 45%, that's a bad thing, even though you won by 40. So this is just something that what we get out of it is a win. Yeah. And let's just move on.
Yeah, I mean, you held them to 31% shooting, held them to 29% from three. You know how obsessed I am.
But the question about that
is
it because of your great defense or the other team had 3 freshmen out there?
Look at you, just trying to find ways to.
Well, I'm just saying that. I'm saying there's reasons you can't get anything out of this.
No, you're right. It is tough. It is, and there's no real sequences that you can focus on either, other than the 21-0 run in the first half.
But the positive thing is Florida Atlantic came out and did what they were supposed to do. They're supposed to be the team. If you're going to run 3 true freshmen out there, we're going to beat you by 45.
Yeah, you should absolutely body them, and
so that's what they did.
Again, reminder that for those of you that are watching this live, this is going to be available in full podcast form wherever you get your podcast, the Florida Atlantic Voice. Please subscribe. I'm not going to do the smash the subscribe button, but just press it lightly.
I want him to smash it.
All right, you can smash it, but just poke it on your phone screen or on your tablet, or just a light little tap of your mouse on your computer at home, your desktop, if you still have one of the few that still have one. And it comes right to your phone. It's right there for you. You don't have to search it out. You'll be notified, hey, Florida Atlantic Voice, right there for you. So, again, we thank you for the support. Huge thank you, as always, to Robes Law Group. Personal injury lawyers, ROBES, robeslawgroup.com. Proud presenting partners of the Florida Atlantic Voice, and we can't do anything without them, whether it is doing live shows on location, whether it is doing live shows here from the Ellie, whether it is putting out all the content that we do. We thank you, Robes Law Group, ROBES, robeslawgroup.com, the best option imaginable for you if you're in a personal injury situation, accident, whether it's automobile, whether it's slip and fall, whether it's motorcycle. Shiner or Robes Law Group, ROBES, robeslawgroup.com, personal injury lawyers. Damon Arnette, FAU basketball legend. I'm Ken LaVicka. We're going to head to New Orleans. We're off to the Big Easy. We'll have FAU, we'll have Tulane, and that will happen on Sunday afternoon. That'll be a 12:30 pregame Eastern time, 1 p.m. Eastern time tip on Fox Sports 640, foxsports640.com, the free Fox Sports 640 app as well. All there for you at your disposal. So listen to us, won't you? This has been the PostUp UTSA edition. Florida Atlantic Voice, FAU 110, UTSA 70. For those of you watching live, have a happy new year. For those of you listening after the fact, hope you had a happy turn of the calendar, and here's to a great 2026. Florida Atlantic Voice, subscribe, PostUp edition, UTSA. Until next time, bye-bye.
Oh, you didn't do the Happy New Year.